Mr. Gumpon is a disciple of Luangpor Kamkean. I pay my respects to Luangpor Kamkean and the other monks, and my best wishes to all of you who are interested in the Dhamma. Today I'm happy to come here and perform the duty of speaking on Dhamma. I intend to talk about things that are useful. I don't usually have the opportunity to give talks like this. I'm handicapped and seldom go anywhere. I usually stay at home. And so I don't have much knowledge. I just know about myself, this body and mind. I keep a watch over these things. My intention is to talk on the Dhamma. I wanted to tell you what happened to me. I hope you will enjoy my story. You probably want to know why I'm in this state. Well, there's a reason for that. I have to go back in the past a bit. "22 years ago, I was a teacher at a college. I did that for 3 years. I had bad luck. I had an accident and I was giving instructions on swimming. I dived in the swimming pool. But I was heedless and I didn't have the right posture. I shot down too fast. I hit my head on the bottom of the pool. This paralyzed my whole body. I sank to the bottom and couldn't move any more at all. One of my people saw that I was underwater for an unusually long time, and he saved my life. Then I was taken to the hospital in Bangkok. Doctors discovered that the 5th neck bone was broken. This has an effect on the nerve system and makes the whole body paralyzed. I have to be handicapped for the rest of my life. I have had 2 operations. The first was one to support the broken bone with another piece of bone. I underwent physical therapy for 4 months. I began to be able to move my arms a bit, but I don't have much strength. As you can see, my arms are very weak. As for my hands, I can't move them at all. The fingers are always bent like this. From the neck down to the feet, I can't move. The whole body is numb. I don't feel pain. I don't even feel a needle puncturing my arm. I don't have control over my bowels. Most of the time, I lie on a bed. It's only sometimes that I use this wheelchair. I depend on others helping me and lifting me up. In short, I can't look after myself. I've been living like this for 22 years. Since I was 24. Now I'm 46. I had a lot of suffering at first, suffering both in the body and the mind. It seemed to be a dream. I thought that nobody ever had as much suffering as me. That was the past. Before I started practicing Dhamma, I thought to myself, well, I have to live the rest of my life in this condition. How can I use my life in a meaningful way? How can I use this handicap in a useful way? If I don't do anything at all, I'll experience nothing but suffering. So I started to look for an internal refuge, but I didn't find it. At that time, my father had a hard time because of me. He couldn't stop thinking. Whenever he would have suffering, he would turn towards the Dharma. He used to study and practice at a variety of monasteries. He has been to many retreats and places. On coming back home, he would tell me all about it. He was a good example for his children, a good influence for the family. He passed away this last February. This made me contemplate that the things that my father introduced to me should be meaningful and useful for me. I should study and practice the Dhamma that he had told me about. Perhaps my suffering would diminish a bit. That's better than lying there thinking, letting the mind spin around all over the place. That's a waste of time. So suffering was the cause that gave me confidence to study and practice Dhamma in order to go beyond suffering. Without suffering, I wouldn't need the Dhamma. Since then, I have been studying Dhamma from books and tapes for a long, long time. But I never put anything into practice. If one could realize Dhamma through reading, I would have been highly realized. I've been with books for 16 years, but I still had suffering just as before. The reason is a lack in practice. Before I used to misunderstand that someone who is handicapped as me cannot practice Dhamma. Especially meditation. Because in meditation there are 4 postures. Namely sitting, walking, standing, and lying down. But I can't do all that. I can't sit Samdhi. I can't do walking meditation, so how am I going to practice? I tried it out anyway.